Joining us on the program right now, very pleased to have with us Utah State Representative Carl Wimmer. And Representative, thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the program this evening.
Well, it's my honor. Thank you very much for having me on.
You bet. We've been talking throughout the evening about the issue of constitutional carry around the country. In Wyoming, constitutional carry passed out of the House today on third reading. It now goes to the governor's desk for his signature. The Speaker of the House in New Hampshire has approved a constitutional carry in that state. And where are things right now in Utah regarding constitutional carry?
Well, I have to tell you, I wish that I hate to report that I wish that we embraced freedom and individual liberty as much as our friends in Wyoming next to us. But right now, the bill's in committee. It was almost killed a couple days ago in committee, but I was able to save it, and we're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back possibly with some amendments, but the absolute rhetoric, it's the same old rhetoric we hear every single time. It's the same rhetoric that states here when they move from a may issue to a shall issue on concealed weapon permits. It's the same rhetoric we hear when we move from removing restrictions from people carrying firearms in cars. It's just the rhetoric that never comes true. It's the doomsday prophecies that 4 or 5 months after the legislation is in place, everyone forgets about because it has zero effect on crime except that the crime rates possibly go down. Mm-hmm. It's just absurd.
And what's interesting is as you look around the country, Alaska recently passed a constitutional carry. Vermont has had constitutional carry for decades now.
Yes.
Are the opponents of constitutional carry in Utah, are they saying that the people of Vermont are somehow more responsible and more trustworthy than Utahns?
They would never concede that. No, they would just say that it's wise and prudent. We love to use very sophisticated language when arguing against firearms, but it's wise and prudent to have some type of regulation over who carries a firearm. Of course, I bring out that if those who argued so strongly against regulating our constitutional right to bear arms would also argue against the freedom of assembly and the freedom of press, that of course they would be kicking the news reporters out of the committees that we're in. But they're hypocrites, to be honest with you, many of them, and quite frankly, there were some personal attacks from some of the Democrats on the committee, but. I got a very thick skin, and we're going to move forward. We're going to push this bill forward, and we're going to continue to bring this bill back. It's not going away. It will not go away.
What can supporters do to help this bill move forward, Representative?
Yeah, here's the deal. If people will go to the Utah State Legislature website and just start emailing representatives and senators, mostly right now representatives because it's in the House right now, and just let them know that they support the constitutional carry bill by Representative Wimmer. If we were to flood our representatives with emails and phone calls, that has an influence. It really does have an influence, and it would help a lot. And so I would encourage people to go to the Utah Legislative website and just look up the representatives and start emailing them en masse.
Okay. I've got to think that as a representative, it has to be discouraging at times to hear, as you say, that same rhetoric, no matter what it is that you're talking about regarding the carrying of firearms. A couple of years ago when the big issue was campus carry,
Yes.
Again, we heard all of these same predictions. Oh, these college students are just going to cause mayhem. Well, that hasn't happened.
No, it is. And here's the thing. Some of the opponents are so disingenuous. And the fact is they just simply do not facts don't matter. That's what I have learned. I've been in the legislature now for 5 years, and I've really learned that to some people, facts just simply don't matter. You can lay out the facts that any time that there is a more free society for honorable people to carry firearms, that crime goes down. You can lay out the facts. Yeah, I was a police officer for more than 11 years working, in several different areas here in Utah. And I can lay out the facts that as a police officer working with gang members, they carried guns anyway. Okay, they didn't wait for their governmental permission slip or their concealed weapon permit to carry a firearm. And so we know that our laws only affect the honorable and good people who would otherwise follow those laws in the first place. We know that it's the pastor, the priest, the bishop who is following these laws and who it has the most effect on. And I'm not afraid of those people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Representative, again, I can't thank you enough, sir, for coming on the program this evening.
It's my pleasure.
What's your bill number?
It's House Bill 129.
129.
Yes, House Bill 129. Now, it's interesting. I wonder if we got gunned out because, of course, Utah has become the first state in the nation to have an official state firearm. I ran that piece of legislation, and the legislation's sitting on the governor's desk right now. And there was a lot of rhetoric spread around about that, especially with the shooting that took place in Arizona and the timing. And so I almost wonder if there's people in our legislature that have gun fatigue, but they need to hear from the citizens. They really do.
Absolutely, and you know, I think you would be the first to say that the bill naming the M1911 the official gun of Utah is in many ways a more symbolic piece of legislation than the constitutional carry, right?
Oh, absolutely, that's right. It's purely symbolic, and it was really, really nice to do. But on the 100-year anniversary that the Army adopted the M1911, but it was really symbolic. And this bill, the constitutional carry, this is where the rubber hits the road. This is a very important piece of legislation, and I'm going to continue to push it forward.
Well, Representative, again, it's a real pleasure getting a chance to talk with you. Hope we can do it again soon.
I do too. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. State Representative Carl Wimmer joining us from the great state of Utah.